What's up everyone? This will be the last video I make on this HD. I need to get it sent back to Jeff at the Weapon Collective so he can enjoy this new trigger. My previous two videos on this pistol are linked in the description. This will be a shorter one. I just want to share an easier way to field strip the pistol. I want to look at the design, some features and things that I've noticed. I'll measure up some things and try to answer some questions that were left in the comments of the last two videos. Let's get into it. First and foremost, an easier way to field strip this. I had a viewer, the first video, mentioned this in the comments, and I forgot this method even though I do it on my other 1911s all the time. Anyways, pull the slide back, hold it until the notch is lined up, and reach into the chamber area and push the lug through right here that interacts with the magazine follower. Much easier than trying to dick around with punching the little tiny end of this through from the other side. It's way easier to do it the way I first showed it, but I want to try to show you what I'm doing. Boop. Just pushing that little lug through from the inside. I did want to take a look at this recoil system really quick. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed this or pointed it out. It looks like something that comes out of an HK. God, it almost looks like it's exactly the same size and everything. Anyways, I think this first design for this recoil reduction system, as HK calls it, was patented in the early 90s and was introduced with the HK USP. I think it's a pretty effective design. I like it. I have it in this HK-P30. I also have it in the HK-45 Tactical that I own, and they're both really pretty nice shooting pistols. I've also seen people like complaining that they can hear this sliding around in there. Like, don't buy the gun then. This is an integral part of its design. This is how it operates. Like, if you don't want some little piece of plastic sliding around in there, buy a different gun. But a really easy way to solve this would just make it so the spring, captures the bushing, machine it like this. But then they couldn't buy it from HK. I did measure the slide to frame clearances on this. In the vertical direction, we have a total of 2 thousandths, and the total horizontal clearance is 3 thousandths. This is right in line with what I would expect for the intended use of this pistol. I would still consider this an improved fit over, say, an Ordnance Spec 1911, but it's on the looser end of that improved fit for an emphasis on reliability in a wide variety of operating conditions and with lots of tolerance for getting really dirty. The barrel fit in this pistol is very nice. It's very tight at lockup, no perceivable play. It's got a really nice fit on the slide stop and the upper lugs. This barrel is a pretty trick piece of machining here. It's one piece, so this is all milled out of one billet. More machining ops, more complicated machining, larger billet, more waste. They didn't fuck up the radius here on the sight block like they did on the slide. The barrel OD is 694, which is standard for like 1911 bull barrels. But the underside has some flat milling on it to accommodate the larger diameter recoil system, probably this little buffer. The slide barrel passage is 700, 701, so like 6 to 7 thousandths diametrical clearance with the barrel. I consider bull barrel clearance to be a bit different and less important than bushing barrel clearance, as long as the bull barrel is fit nicely, which this one is. The lower lugs sitting on the slide stop pin and the barrel being pinched between the slide stop and the upper lugs, full engagement at the upper lugs, and the muzzle end, being pushed down into the bottom of the slide barrel passage. This barrel ramp looks a lot like a Wilson Nolan ramp. I can't find any diagrams of that barrel ramp to compare dimensions. I would imagine it's a not standard ramp due to possibly some differences in the magazine feed angle and how that interacts with the grip angle and things of that nature. The feed ramp has a nice finish on it, and it has some really generous blending into the chamber. Barrel length appears to be standard. The slide stop is the standard outside diameter. With the Magwell installed, this is a factory Magwell, right? There's still a big ass ledge here on the sides for like magazines to hang up, and like they definitely do hang up right there. Kind of defeats the purpose of the Magwell, in my opinion. I'm gonna blend this in a little bit for Jeff, but like if they just carried this angled surface out at the bottom like another 1/16 of an inch, they wouldn't have this issue. So I thought that was kind of odd. I wear large gloves. I have pretty skinny fingers. My hands are not huge. And my support hand is being, pinched pretty good between the magwell and the bottom of the trigger guard. I can imagine this may be uncomfortable for people with larger hands. There's only so many ways to graft a right side slide stop on a pistol with a linked barrel where the slide stop has to go through the link and have it be toolless, no screw or anything here that you have to take out. Cool, it works. It reminded me of my HK actually a little bit. You pull this one out, this one's captured, and it allows a lug on the bottom side of the recoil assembly to slide forward and the slide to come off. The left side is splined into the right side. Then this one just rotates up and comes out. You can see it's got that little notch right there that goes through the hole in the frame to retain it. Kind of interesting, a little bit similar, a little bit different. Staccato was like really excited that you would be able to drop the slide without breaking your grip due to like the slide stop being extended rearward. Like, that's cool. You can buy an extended slide stop like this one from Wilson Combat and have that luxury on any 1911, albeit only on the left side, I guess. So that's it for this short series on the Staccato HD. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you got a different look at this pistol than you have before. Once again, go check out the Weapon Collective and support Jeff. Thank him for making this possible, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.